What's up, everybody tuning in? My name's Alex. I'm going to be taking apart the shift boot and replacing it with a suede one. So basically what we're doing here is we're detaching the shift boot from the shifter itself. What you'll do is you'll take the ring that is right there by the shift boot, kind of pull down and twist, and it'll separate, and then what you'll do is you'll just unscrew the shift knob like that. The next step will be in the top right there of the lower half of the dashboard. There is a little button that you can pull out. Mine was cut by the previous owner. What you'll do is you'll just pull on that, kind of go around and loosen it around the edges. Now, if you can't manage to get down there in the lower section, what you can do is stick your fingers into the shift boot and pull, just as so. Alright, so once that's off, using a Phillips head screwdriver, you will go ahead and remove the hazard light switch with, well, it's being held in place by two Phillips head screws. Alright, so what we've got here is the lower half of the dashboard from the EP3. I'm going to swap out this rubber piece for this lovely suede Alcantara shift boot. Basically, what you do back here is you take off these three screws. This is a bigger distance than here and here, so this is your top screw. And that's important to remember when you're putting this or swapping these out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So, we've got the shift boot assembly off of the lower half of the dashboard. This next part's pretty easy. There are three tabs here, 1, 2, 3. Keep in mind that these two tabs are closer together. See, the distance here is shorter than the distance here. The two tabs are on the top. So when you're installing your shift boot, make sure you remember that, and it actually proves very important here in a minute. So we're going to go ahead and take the assembly apart here. It's just two pieces. This black ring here, and the silver ring out here. So, another thing that you're going to notice with this, the rubber tabs from the shift boot, they come out of here. And so you just pull that out. Alright, so one thing to notice about this piece right here, if you look, it's got these tabs that poke up all along. So this shift boot, basically, if you look here, it has these tabs here. Well, they have holes cut in them. Those line up perfectly with the tabs that are on here. So make sure you remember which way is up and which way is down, and that is, this one is up because these two are further apart than these two or these two. So here's your top. So you basically put the shift boot over it as such. Lines up perfectly. There you go. That's what it should look like. Take this, slide it back over, make sure you remember the two tabs that are close together are the ones on top. So it goes like this. Alright, now you're ready to put this back in the lower half. There you have it. Alright guys, so the reinstall is pretty intuitive. Basically you're going to undo everything, or you're going to redo everything that you undid rather. One thing that I tried to do with the shift boot, however, is I tried to put it in
inside out like the way it is right now, and zip tie the tip of the shift boot to the upper part of the shift knob. It turns out that does not work out so well. I didn't have time to do it at the time of filming this video, but basically what I'm going to try to do is take the little silver piece that's on the end of the rubber shift boot and attach it to this suede shift boot. For now, what I've got going on is it just goes up to the shift knob, and honestly it holds up just fine, and it looks pretty good the way it is, but I'm going to try to throw that silver piece on there at a later time. So basically what I'm doing is I'm putting the hazard light back in. Once again, it's those 2 screws. Something I didn't mention at the beginning of the video, this suede Alcantara boot that I got, I actually managed to get that one off of Amazon. It's labeled as the EP3 shift boot suede Alcantara. If you're looking for it, that's where I got mine from. I'm sure there are other places you can get it from. But basically, this is all reverse engineering what I did before. An important thing to note is make sure that you rehook up your hazard lights, as I almost forgot to do that right here. So the shift knob that I picked, I also happened to find on Amazon. I know for a fact you can find that in other places, but I found it for the best deal there. It is a carbon fiber with that red line, which really nicely goes with the theme of my car. So what happens next is what I'm doing here, putting on the threads. So basically it's a universal shift knob, and it'll come with the different thread patterns. So what you'll be able to do is pre-size basically which one will fit to your shifter, and then you'll just screw the shift knob right on top of it. So the issue with the method that I chose to preset it on there, zip tie it to the top, and then push it inside out, or where it would be inside out, would work if I had picked a shift knob that went further down on the shifter. However, this one sits right there, and it screws in all the way to where the threads end. And so what I'm going to end up having to do is taking the silver piece that is on the original shift boot and putting it on top of the suede and seeing if I like the way that works. But honestly, right now the way it is, the zip ties didn't work out, so it's actually just sitting flush up to the top of the shift knob there, which I'm actually okay with. So I may or may not decide to put on that silver piece, but basically you're not going to be able to take the shift knob and put on the way that I thought it would, which was to fold it inside out of itself so that the shift knob sits flush with the suede. Well guys, thank you for watching. Please make sure to give it a like and subscribe.